Hello and welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is 7 cards for 7 days, and we are beginning with the week of December 18th, and that goes through the 24th, Christmas Eve, if you celebrate that. And I will be using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for this reading, and then we'll finish with a Crystal Angel Oracle card. And we'll go through a little bit of the astrology for the week before we get started. Remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest behind. So we start our week on the 18th with the moon in Pisces. And we end on Sunday the 24th with the moon in Gemini. So we're moving through some water energy, that last sign of the zodiac, going back through Aries, the beginning, and Taurus, and then finally ending up in Gemini, which is an air sign, very mental, really likes communication, ideas, being in the thick of things that way. And then on Monday, we have Mercury trine Jupiter, which tends to feel pretty good. It helps us be good communicators. Jupiter expands everything. It's a very benevolent planet. And Mercury rules Gemini, so, back to that talking, ideas, liking to go places, short trips, those kinds of things are favored under that energy. When we get to Wednesday, it's about Venus being opposite Uranus. So watch out for that erratic behavior. I could not help but think of Little Women for the literary types out there. And my favorite character was always Jo, the writer, naturally related, and she ends up saying some pretty erratic stuff to some relatives and not getting to go to Europe because of that. So consequences don't have to be that dire, but they can be strong. So just kind of watch what is said on that day, because there'll be the desire to relate from Venus, and then Uranus likes to shock and can do some pretty intense surprises, so just be mindful. Then Thursday, things start to change because we get the sun entering Capricorn, and in the Northern Hemisphere, the Winter Solstice. Obviously the opposite in the Southern, and that occurs at 9:27 p.m. Central Time, so to be late that evening. And the light returns. I always love when that happens because we are getting longer days. They have gotten so short recently. Again, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're almost down to that very shortest day. And then on Friday, the sun is conjunct Mercury, and that can also feel good. It gives brightness to our desire to communicate. I mean, we've got Mercury retrograde this whole time because it went retrograde last week. But hopefully that won't be affecting you too much. I'd say just roll with it, be flexible. And again, with that sun conjunct Mercury, our communication could feel enhanced, could feel good. We might feel like reaching out to more people, talking, maybe again taking a short trip. And then the last thing for our week will be next Sunday, which if you celebrate is Christmas Eve. And we have the sun sextile Saturn. Sextiles are good relationships. They're pretty easy. And this one might enhance our patience, our stability, our strength of character, and help us work efficiently if you still have stuff to do that day, which so many of us do. So hopefully that'll be a really good energy to help. Just don't try not to take things too seriously, which can be part of what Saturn does. But with the sun there, that brings light to it and hopefully some ease. All right, then what do the cards have to say for our week? Well, we begin with the 7 of discs. We have a person standing there contemplating his harvest, or his resources, What is working? What can I count on? What feels good about this energy? There's almost a look of longing. I mean, I doubt you can see that. I'll try to bring it a little closer on that face. But there's a resting too. So Monday could involve a little stepping back, looking at your resources, pentacles, discs, that's earth energy, material things. So what do we have? And I would also say it's a good time because it's a 7 connected to the chariot. We have a couple of 7s this week. That there can be a moment to be still and take stock. Yes, the chariot can move forward very fast, but there's also that other aspect to it, at least for me, of being quiet, gathering resources. And, this is last week before Christmas. Again, if you're celebrating that or whatever you might be doing, that energy could be there to get some things done. So starting off with a nice stable, all right, this is what I have, this is what I need to do, Monday could be helpful. And then on Tuesday, it's celebration time. We have the 4 of Wands. It even looks to me like a celebration. You have the 4 poles and the garlands and ribbons and so forth, some kind of... perhaps even a church in the background, maybe a wedding party, certainly a few people with bouquets. And if you look back between the poles, they're back there shaking their bouquets. So a good, stable energy, a little bit of a party, find something to celebrate that day. On Wednesday, we continue with that Wands energy, and that was the dominant energy for the week. We had more Wands cards than anything, and a couple of them being royal cards, and obviously this is the first one. The Knight of Wands, lots of energy, lots of desire to be passionate, to create, to make things happen, to go forward in some way. So if you have a lot to do, maybe Wednesday would be a good day for some of that. Now, that is also the day that I just need to warn you that Venus is opposite Uranus. So you might want to edit some of those impulses. If you desire to go forward, maybe some energy solo on that, or just being super playful, which Aquarius is. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So, finding playful outlets for it, getting things done. All right, when we get to our Thursday, we switch gears in terms of the elements. We began our week with discs, which are feminine. We had a couple of wand days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're back to the feminine, and this time with the water energy. It can be psychic, emotional, intuitive, those kinds of things. And one deck at least calls this card happiness. And I like to think it is. Some people associate a certain sort of greediness with it. I don't, but that can be the shadow side of it. So just watch where that energy is. I think it can be a very beautiful energy of feeling very happy and wanting to share that with other people and share the resources too, and especially the resource of love and goodwill. Our only really tricky day potentially is on Friday. And this is that 7 of Swords, as I mentioned. It's our second 7. So again, I'm thinking of the Chariot. And this one sometimes is referred to as the Thief. And it could be, not that we're trying to take from another person, but a feeling something has potentially been taken from us, or a feeling of ripping our own selves off if we do not honor our own time, our own skills, maybe even back to the 7 of Discs, our own resources. It can leave us feeling depleted in a way. So that was what I would be watching for as you come to the end of that week. Maybe a work week for you. I hope everybody has some downtime. But it's the holidays too, and it can be hard on people. So if you're feeling pretty burnt out, kind of spent by Friday night, take it easy, relax, nurture yourself. And when Saturday rolls around, we're back to our wands, our fiery energy, our passionate, creative energy. And this is the peak of it. We had the night before, so You know, when we have male energies, masculine energies, again, not gender related, but just a masculine energy through a king, through a knight, through the wands, so we consider it a double masculine. Again, what kind of energy can come through that day that helps you? And it might be that last push before you do some kind of celebrating on Sunday. So I would be mindful of not running over myself, saying I can get everything done, make reasonable limits, maybe feel like you can or you should, and so you want to be using it in that positive way and getting to that enough is enough. Yes, there's a part of me that wants to carry on, but hopefully you can find a way to use it that enhances your weekend and what's coming up for you the rest of the weekend and on that holiday if you celebrate it. When we get around to that final day for this reading, Sunday the 24th, and we'll have the moon in Gemini, and our card is the Four of Cups. This one is always one of those harder ones for me to read. I don't know why. You've got this concept of sort of the hand of spirit coming out in this little cloud, offering a gift, but the person isn't aware. The eyes are literally closed on this one. Very much not tuned in. The legs are crossed, the arms are crossed, the chest, crossed over the chest, I mean to say. And so there's just not an openness to what that other thing can be. It's sort of like, well, I have the 3 cups, that could be 3 friends, but there's this other thing and I'm just not tuned into it somehow. Another take on this card can be, well, it's too much. The reason the person isn't opened up is because there's overwhelm in some quiet way, potentially. It could be just an inner emotional overwhelm. So hopefully that is just a nice time to sit back, maybe luxuriate in your feelings, give gratitude, what can you be grateful for, and then maybe open the eyes to see what spirit might be really offering you. All right, so those are our cards for the week. Again, we ended up with a little bit more on the masculine side energy this week because of the 3 wands and the 1 sword, and then 2 cups and a disc. So hopefully, again, that goes toward getting some things done that you feel like are necessary for your hopefully upcoming time, where you have some downtime, some joyous celebrations. For our oracle card, the moonstone came up. I've always thought these are really beautiful stones, and it stands for heightened intuition. You're already highly intuitive, and this card shows that your intuition is being taken to new levels. If you wouldn't be here if you weren't intuitive. Be extra aware of your divine downloads, which encompass strong feelings, clear realizations, a sense of knowing, visions, dreams, and signs. Keep your mind clear and sober so that you'll notice your intuition. In addition to noticing, trust the feelings and knowingness about the meaning of the message or messages. The ego wants to second guess your insights. That ego likes to be right, doesn't want to be wrong. But don't ignore or override your first impressions. They're often very potent. This isn't a time for logic. It will all make sense soon. The card can also signify that you're extra sensitive to lunar phases, especially the full moon. You may wish to plan accordingly, such as easing your schedule during full moons. Well, we're not close to that quite yet. In addition, this may be a sign related to feminine moon cycles. All right, beloveds, I hope this helps you, one and all. I genuinely do, and I'm wishing you the absolute best during this season, and celebrate that return of the light. That is so good for us, and I think it gives us hope when we really need it. And if you're in the opposite and you're in your summer solstice, enjoy that too, whatever it might be. And if I can help you in any way, please reach out. There'll be information at the end of the video and below in the description box about personal readings, how you can contact me. Just let me know if you have a question. Feel free to comment and ask questions too. And otherwise, I will see you in a week. Thanks for being here.